Do you desire to create massive change in 90 days? And at the same time, are you a bit frustrated by SMART goals? Like, have you tried to use SMART goals to create change and it just isn't working for you? In my last video, I shared that anything can change in less than 90 days. I want to share some secrets that will set you up so that in 90 days, you can look back and you can be like, oh my goodness, wow, look how much I've accomplished in the last 90 days. Hello there, I'm Stacey Rivera, and I'm glad you've joined me on my channel for Champions by Champions. In my own life, I have created massive transformation over and over again. One of my biggest accomplishments is overcoming bipolar disorder. A long time ago, I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and really had been struggling with that way before then. And I've healed completely, as in no longer face bipolar disorder. I'm no longer on medications. And now I'm in this place of impacting the lives of others. This was, again, my biggest accomplishment and required a massive transformation. It's also a bit of my specialty, helping people transform their lives. This is what I do with our coaching clients. Whether they're dealing with anxiety, depression, or bipolar disorder, we go through a process of helping them transform their lives. And my favorite part about this is I don't feel it should take a super long time to do that. You can accomplish so much in a short window of time when you know what to do. And so from the experience of transforming my own life and then reaching back to help others, I want to share some secrets that I've learned through this process that is going to help you create a transformation in your own life. Secret number 1, focus on the outcome and not the steps to get you there. So one place where I find that people will sabotage themselves is they set this goal for themselves. They're like, hey, this is the thing I want to accomplish. And then they sabotage everything because they get a bit overwhelmed with all the steps in between. Or they set that goal and they just don't know how to get there. And so they start to go, well, that goal is just too big because I don't know the avenue there. But the first thing is actually to set the intention for where you want to go. That's the first step. So right now, as you think about what you want to accomplish in the next 90 days, I want you to think about the big goal. And what I'm actually going to have you do is, instead of thinking about what you want to accomplish in 90 days, I want you to set your goal out further into the future. And I want you to look at, what do you want to accomplish over the next year? If you look back this time next year, what will you have needed to accomplish to feel successful? What will you have needed to accomplish to be like, man, that's the goal. I reached that goal. I reached that dream. What is that big goal? And I know you might be thinking, but we're talking about 90-day goals. And yes, we are. But in order to determine what you want to change in the next 90 days, you need to look further out. And I will explain more of this as we go. So just for a moment, take a look and again, ask yourself, what do I want to accomplish over the next year? This will be easier for you to do if you just pick one area of your life. So with our coaching clients, like, I help them heal emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And you do want to look across to all those areas for yourself. But in this exercise, it'll be so much easier if you just focus on one area. So think about emotionally. What do you want to accomplish over the next year? Looking back this time next year, what will you have needed to accomplish to go, all right, I'm done. I feel successful. I feel accomplished. What is that goal? And again, don't get distracted by how do we get there? Okay, don't worry about that part right now. Just, what's the goal? Secret number 2, stop wasting time making SMART goals. So this is funny. In preparation for this video, I was looking for some examples and I went to ChatGPT because sometimes you can take, and I don't let ChatGPT write any of my content. However, I do use ChatGPT as a tool to help me accomplish my goals. And so I was looking for some examples. And so it was so interesting because as I asked for goals that were ambitious, which is an important part of how to really create massive change, is to have an ambitious goal. When I asked for some feedback on some examples, this is what ChatGPT told me. It's essential to set SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. These are goals that are within reach and can be broken down into smaller, manageable steps. Unrealistic goals can lead to burnout and disappointment, whereas achievable goals promote motivation and success. Like, thank you, ChatGPT. Okay, I really think this is just hooey, and I'll tell you why. I feel like in our culture, we very much are all about setting achievable results. We don't want anybody to be burned out. But really, that's not what culture is trying to protect us from. Culture tries to protect us from dreaming big. And those that run the show, they want you to stay small. They want you just to follow instructions. They don't want you to live an extraordinary life. So SMART goals are designed for people that just want to be mediocre. That's what it amounts to. There are times where you do need to break things down into pieces. Yes, that is true. But if you want to create massive change, you cannot do that by setting SMART goals. I am a big fan of Dr. Ben Hardy. And he has written a few books with Coach Dan Sullivan. The third book that has just come out is called 10X is Easier Than 2X. And I recently at an event where Dr. Ben Hardy spoke, and I was really excited to hear him speak because I've read the two other books that he's put out, Gap versus Gain and also Who Not How. Phenomenal books. And so I was really excited to hear him speak. And as he spoke, he spoke about this concept, 10X is easier than 2X. And he really was like, SMART goals just need to go. They do not allow you to create massive transformation in your life. And so his premise is to look at where you want to be and set that goal much larger than you think is really possible. When you set your bar very high and you go for a high goal and you filter that back through everything you're doing right now, you will find that most of what you're doing right now is not going to work. And so it will allow you to get rid of the things in your life right now that are not working and begin implementing the things that will allow you to achieve that goal. It's very, very important. So many times we set 2X goals, right? We set these measurable, achievable goals. We feel that they are possible and they're only a little bit higher. Like basically we base it on what we're able to accomplish right now. And we go, okay, if I can accomplish this, then I can just go a little bit more here and I'll be okay. Like I know I can reach that. Like it's just from here to here. And that's a 2X goal. And basically what it would amount to is you don't really have to change a whole lot to just bump it up a little bit. Dr. Hardy said it this way. He says 2X is the equivalent of just crawling faster. And so in order to hit a 10X goal, so much higher, this forces you to learn how to run. So you're no longer crawling, you're running. And in order to do that, you're going to have to learn some things, right? For example, let's say you're a writer or you long to be a writer. You can set a 2X goal that would just simply be, I want to become a better writer. And that might involve things like writing a Facebook post every day or starting a blog or doing morning pages, right? Those are the kind of goals for just becoming a better writer. But if you set a goal to become a #1 New York Times bestseller, now everything has to change. Everything that you're doing in the present has to change in order to hit an ambitious goal, such as becoming a New York Times bestseller. As I help my coaching clients through the process of overcoming anxiety and depression, I find that they often come in with these 2X goals. They want to just feel less anxiety. They want to feel a little better. They want to feel a little more emotionally stable. And the 10X goal that I help them set is to heal completely. Like, I'm not going to waste your time with just feeling a little bit better. If you want to manage anxiety and depression, for example, there are 1,000 videos on YouTube that you can watch right now that will give you tools for just managing anxiety. Like, you really don't have to change too much of what you're doing right now in order to feel a little bit better. But if you want to heal completely, a lot of things have to change. Like, you can't just keep doing what you're doing now and expect to heal completely. And when you set that 10X goal, you'll work it backwards and you'll look at the 90-day goal and you'll find that what has to happen in this next 90 days is going to look very different. And so it forces you to really change things in a powerful way so that, again, you look back in 90 days and you're like, wow, what just happened? So now that you've set your big 10X goals, the third secret that you will need to apply is to get prepared. And there are 3 steps that you actually need to do in order to get prepared. The first is find the right guide. So my example that I used earlier, if you want to write a New York Times bestseller, then I'm not your guide. Yes, I've written a book and it's right here, but it's not a New York Times bestseller. I don't even know how to do that. So I would not be the person to ask for advice on that. Now, if you want to know how to publish and get a book done in less than 30 days, then yes, you could reach out. And I wouldn't be the one to give you that advice. I'd point you to the person that helped me do that. So there's a little side nugget hint. Sometimes the people around us are not necessarily the guide, but know who to go to. So find someone in your life that has accomplished the goal that you're looking to achieve. So whatever that goal is, whatever that big goal is that you have, again, find somebody who's accomplished that and find out what they've done or what they have to offer you to help you get to your goal. When you find someone who has accomplished the goal that you desire and follow their lead, you will find that you will save yourself a massive amount of time and you will avoid a lot of missteps along the way and you will be able to reach your goal faster. And the other thing this takes care of is in secret number 1, I told you to set your goal on the outcome rather than the steps involved. Well, when you find a guide, the guide will actually give you the steps involved. And so you don't have to understand those steps. You just need to know who to go to that can show you the path out. With the right guide, you can accomplish things in less than 30 days that you didn't think was possible. And so this step is very, very important. Again, get prepared, find the right guide, find out what the strategy is going to be to get you to your goal. The second part of getting prepared is to understand that there's going to be some things that you'll need to set up. Sometimes we make goals such as getting healthy or a weight loss goal, and we determine the nutrition plan that we want to follow. And we're like, okay, we're going to start eating healthy. And we forget about the fact that we need to get the food that's involved in that nutrition plan. So whatever that nutrition plan is, we've got to be prepared. Like we can't just start eating a different way without that food being in our kitchen, right? And so there's a preparation step in that as well to set us up for the win. And this is an important thing to notice because you may have tried things in the past where you're like, that's it, I'm going to do it. And you just set out to do it and you're like, whoops, I missed a step. Like I missed preparing to actually be able to do the thing I need to do. In the example of overcoming anxiety and depression, again, you're going to need a plan, a strategy. I've laid that out on my book. I've done a number of things there. And even that, as you read that book and you read that plan, you're going to need to set yourself up to implement that plan. And so that's what I'm talking about here as far as getting prepared is get yourself set up, like set the stage so that you could succeed. And then the third thing for getting prepared is get your head in the game. Mindset is so important. If you want to create massive change in your own life, then you're going to need commitment, resilience, community around you. You're going to need to keep pushing when you face obstacles. And so there's a number of things to just be aware of. Like, again, sometimes we set that big, ambitious goal. We're like, yeah, we're going to do it. And we don't have anything else in place to support it. And so we just step out and we falter, like we fail. And so there's all these steps that you'll need in between to help you set yourself up for that win. And right here, I just want you to understand, like if you've tried to create massive change in the past, and again, you've used SMART goals and that didn't work out for you, or you've just tried to like just step out and do that new thing and it hasn't worked for you, this could be why. These things that I've shared with you here could be exactly why. Again, we want to set the stage and get you prepared so that when you step out, you can actually be successful and reach that 1-year goal, but also be able to see massive transformation over the next 90 days. With these 3 secrets that I've shared with you today, you will be able to accomplish so much more than you thought was possible. If you're ready to take action on the information I've shared with you today, I want you to drop a comment below that just says that you're going to take action on these steps. And what I'd actually suggest that you do is go back to the beginning of this and re-watch it. So now you've heard the information, but what's really going to change your life is implementation. Just learning about things doesn't change your life. That doesn't bring transformation. It's implementing a solid strategy. And so again, go back to the beginning, listen to these secrets again, take time to reflect on each one and decide how to implement on each step. Implementation is what will transform your life and allow you to create massive change. And now, something to make you smile. I just wanted to share a quick story. I mentioned that I got to see Dr. Ben Hardy speak. Well, this was at a Funnel Hackers live event in Orlando, Florida. And it was massive, just epic event where other entrepreneurs and content creators and people that are changing the world gathered together in the hallway, I ran into one of my heroes, Jim Edwards. And so I come over and it's like really awkward and I'm tripping over my words, so embarrassing. And so I was trying to share with him just quickly. I'm like, hey, I put you in the acknowledgments of my book. And so I'm like, hi. And he was so gracious and we took a selfie and I completely forgot to tell him my name. Completely forgot, like didn't tell him at all who I was. I'm just like, you're in my acknowledgments. I walked away. I was so like, I didn't realize until I was like down the hallway and I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And the reason I share that with you guys is because online, like this video here, like I'm going to take out the times where most of the times where I trip over my tongue. Like I'm going to miss the times where I didn't quite say it right. And so you have a certain online, you have a certain, like the highlight reel, like you have the best clips that are given to you. And so sometimes that can make you feel like I'm somehow perfect. Guys, I'm not perfect. So I met my hero. I was so happy to meet Jim Edwards, who helped me accomplish my book. And I totally botched up our meeting. It was really, really embarrassing. I walked away going, oh man. Oh man, like I really got to work on my social skills when I meet people. They're like, I'm like turning red right now, you guys. I'm turning red. Anyway, it was just super embarrassing, but I just want you to know, like, it happens. What was great is I did get to see him again, like the next day. I actually happened to have my book in my hand. So I got this selfie. And I got to tell him my name, which was great. His staff was there. And so they graciously accepted my thanks for their help in me accomplishing my goal. So again, just wanted to share that with you. I hope that makes you smile. We'll see you next time.